Welcome class 10. Again, we'll be continuing the same chapter, that is nervous system. So far, we have completed the brain, okay, which is a part of central nervous system. Today, we'll be starting a new topic in the same chapter, that is nervous system, that is spinal cord. So we'll try to understand about the spinal cord and the remaining parts of the nervous system. So let's start. So here spinal cord is actually somewhat elongated cylindrical, structure which usually runs through the canal of the vertebral column, which we call as the neural canal. And then this spinal cord remains protected by two different structures, that is vertebral column itself, and the second one is meninges. You need to understand here that not only the brain portion is covered by the meninges, the spinal cord is also covered by the meninges. Now, in the middle of the spinal cord, hollow cavity is present, which we call as the central canal. Okay, the central part of the spinal cord is with hollow cavity, which we call as the central canal. Okay, this central canal is mainly remains filled with the fluid called cerebrospinal fluid. In short, we call it CSF. A few times this one about the CSF, the question has been asked in the examination, so you have to be very careful and again learn properly about cerebrospinal fluid. This cerebrospinal fluid not only present in the central canal of spinal cord, but it is also present in the ventricles of the brain, that is in the cavity of the brains. Wherever the empty spaces are there, they are usually remain filled by this CSF fluid. Now comes the function of CSF fluid. There are two main functions of CSF fluid. The first one is it acts as a shock absorber. The second one is it provides nutrition. Then again at the same time it also provides oxygen, and then it helps in removing the waste material from the nerve cells of the brain and spinal cord. So these are the two functions. Then again sometimes it is asked to differentiate between brain and spinal cord in terms of the arrangement of white matter and gray matter. So see, as we have learned in brain that gray matter is present towards the outer side, towards the cortex region or towards the periphery, and the white matter is present towards the center or towards the medulla. Here somewhat different arrangement is present, that is gray matter is present towards the medulla, towards the center, and white matter is present towards the periphery. I try to explain with the help of this figure. Okay, all the cell body is present, is clustered in the central region, and the fibers axon is present on the outer part of the spinal cord. So this is there. So just now we learned about the CSF fluid, spinal cord. Then comes the function of spinal cord. Function of spinal cord. Spinal cord are mainly responsible for regulating all the reflex action. About reflex action we'll be learning after this topic. Okay, simply to understand the involuntary actions, okay, which usually occurs below the brain. Okay, they are all regulated by the spinal cord, and spinal cord is responsible for carrying the impulse from the sensory organ like skin to the brain, or to carry the messages or nerve impulse from the brain to the muscles or glands. Okay, so these are the functions of spinal cord. Then after that comes peripheral nervous system, about which very briefly I have already explained to you. Okay, they are the nerve which arises from the central nervous system, that is from the brain and spinal cord. They are usually categorized under two groups, somatic and autonomic. Somatic, they are further categorized as cranial and spinal lobe. Cranial nerves means those nerves which arises from the brain. Spinal lobe means those which arises from the spine or from the spinal cord. Now, one more difference, I have told you that somatic are usually voluntary in action, whereas autonomic are responsible for controlling all the involuntary actions. Okay. Now here you need to remember that cranial nerve, there are around 12 pairs of cranial nerves are there in our body. and spinal 31 pairs. Okay, this pairs is also sometimes asked. So these things you need to remember here. Autonomic nervous systems are further categorized as sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sympathetic and parasympathetic, they are antagonistic in their function. They are opposite. Okay, like for example, is given in the book that sympathetic nervous systems express the heartbeat. Okay, whereas parasympathetic nervous system deaccelerates the heartbeat. It slows down the heartbeat. So while playing football or running marathon, what happens? Heartbeat becomes faster as our body cells require immediate supply of oxygen in large quantity. So in order to supply oxygen to enough oxygen to each and every cell of the body, the heart pumps. Okay, heartbeat increases. Okay, so that is usually done by the sympathetic nervous system. And then when you relax after running marathon, then what happens? Slowly and gradually your heartbeat comes to normal, and that normal state is brought about by this parasympathetic nervous system. Page number 114 is the old book. Okay, you can go through, you can follow this table. Sometimes it is asked, like here about the heart. Okay, heartbeat is accelerated by sympathetic and parasympathetic deaccelerates. Then second one, blood vessels. Blood vessels usually dilated by sympathetic nervous system and constricted by parasympathetic. Then again after that comes lungs. Lungs usually dilated by sympathetic nervous system. Dilates means whenever we inhale the air, then what happens is that the lungs has to expand. So that expansion or the dilation is brought about by this sympathetic nervous system. And then after that, contraction is brought about by parasympathetic nervous system, which usually occurs when we exhale the air. Then same way, other things are also given, like dilation and constriction of pupil. When we enter into the dark room, our pupil usually dilates; it becomes larger. Okay, and dilation is mainly brought about by sympathetic nervous system, and constriction is brought about by parasympathetic nervous system. So these all facts, the table which is given in the book, you have to go through. Okay, you have to learn all the points. Okay, I think this topic, the main topic, has been completed now. New topic will be starting, that is reflex action and reflex arc. Okay, we require to draw the diagram also, that is reflex arc diagram. Okay, so in the next video I will be explaining about reflex action and reflex arc. Okay, and about the different types of reflex action. Okay, I will be explaining you, that is conditioned and natural. Okay, in the next video. So in this video, this much, students.